There is a silence at the church in Bochil. There is a silence except for the laments uttered and cried in the Tzotzil dialect by members of the indigenous communities of this town, located in the heart of Chiapas. The Tzotzil and Zoque people, descending from Mayans and Olmecans, are the main ethnic groups living in the state of Chiapas. But they are not the only ones. Other communities with their own native dialects, such as Tzeltal, Chol, or Toholabal, inhabit this state, situated in southern Mexico bordering Guatemala. And these are not the minority. Although 56% of the population officially belongs to these ethnic groups in Chiapas, figures are estimated as high as 75% in some places, such as San Cristobal de las Casas. This sociological fragmentation is visible in the streets of Bochil, where different complexions engraved by the sun, genes or work prevail. But it is also present in the church, where dances and rituals evoke Mother Earth and indigenous songs are predominant. Despite the flow of globalization and modernity, they remain unchanging, rooted in the places where history, culture and tradition have placed them.
There is poverty, there is backwardness. Education needs to be updated. But we also consider this moment as a privileged one. Thanks be to God, people are becoming aware. The indigenous people are becoming more and more aware that they have a place in the world, a place in Mexico, and a place in the church. And we want to respect that place and to contribute, so that the life of indigenous towns can be in unity with the gospel and with human dignity as well.
The reality perceived in Bochil reflects the racial diversity which permeates the whole of Mexico, a country inhabited by 63 different indigenous ethnic groups, mainly from Mayan and Aztec descent. These indigenous communities have a greater demographic weight in states like Chiapas, the Yucatan Peninsula, as well as the states of Oaxaca, Guerrero and Michoacan. This is Tuxtla Gutierrez, the capital of Chiapas. An enormous ceramic mural tells the history of this state in the southeast of Mexico. Nature, history, tradition, faith, ethnicity, and the exploitation suffered by indigenous communities is reflected in this visual summary of the provinces comprising Chiapas, Tuxtla, San Cristobal, and Tapachula. The central column showing the visual history of Chiapas people depicts man's creation by the god of the corn. This fact unites their indigenous historical memory with the nature in which they have lived since their origins.
We refer to the earth as our mother because we live on it, we eat from it, because the native person, the peasant, tills the land, works with the soil, and that is how we interpret it, as a mother. And the whole of nature has a relationship with the divine being that is God. It has helped me to understand the mystery of God through nature.
Nature in Chiapas seems to encourage conditions for a dialogue between man and God. The Grijalba River is one of the symbols in Chiapas. Its importance as the second deepest river of the country is immortalized through its presence in the state emblem and flag. The riverside also boasts the greatest diversity of fauna in the country. The singular union between the Grijalba and the spectacular angles of the Canyon del Sumidero is just one example of nature's generosity to the southeastern corner of Mexico. This gift of water in the Chiapas region provides nearly 20% of the hydrological resources of the country. Nature also associates with history in such places as Tonina, one of the last great archaeological discoveries in Mexico. Tonina, the smoky mirror of the sky, witnessed ceremonies of both man and nature. These traces left through architecture and sculpture by different civilizations in Chiapas evidences the foundations created to encounter God and better the lot of man. Yet in many areas like Chiapas, these foundations at the service of humanity are still not laid, and much of society is not yet favored. The 6 towns in Chiapas, Margarita, Altamirano, Rancho Nuevo, Comitán, Ocosingo, and San Cristobal, are named after the initials of the Zapatista subcomandante Marcos. The San Carlos Hospital is in one of the towns, Altamirano, and it is run by 10 daughters of St. Vincent de Paul and a group of mainly indigenous people dedicated to health care. They see more than 14,000 patients annually, many of which suffer from respiratory or gastrointestinal illness caused by poor sanitary conditions in the rural areas of Chiapas. Almost 4,000 people stay in the San Carlos Hospital, most of them children. Many have had serious diseases since they were born.
Las madres tienen hijos con mucha frecuencia.
Mothers frequently have children within a short time span. Every year or every year and a half, a new baby enters a big family, and the mother does not have enough milk to breastfeed it because she is too weak. The baby is undernourished, and suddenly there comes a new baby, and so the little sisters look after the baby.
Lo pasan a que lo cuide la hermanita, eso es un desprendimiento muy fuerte para el niño, y llega el nuevo. ¿Sí? El nuevo pues encuentra una mamá cansada.
This situation becomes a vicious circle because every time a new baby arrives, the mother is more and more tired, with less and less milk. Children become undernourished when they are inside the uterus. They are undernourished when they are born, and they will be undernourished for the rest of their lives.
Y van a seguir siendo personas desnutridas casi toda su vida.
Like in an impressionist painting, healthcare needs is just one brushstroke in the overall canvas comprising the reality of Chiapas. These highlights are set against the darker broad stroke of poverty. An average family has an income of only 150 euros a month, when without a fixed income, the state contributes 90 euros a month for each family. Poverty is revealed through the lack of infrastructure, poor educational opportunities, conflicts regarding land ownership among the different indigenous groups, and alcoholism, which consumes families and villages, resulting images of an exuberant nature, but also of a nature overflowing with human misery.
The isolation suffered by many towns is sometimes really serious. There are not enough schools, and we are talking about secondary schools, not college. Here one of the most serious problems is the marginalization of women, although women are gaining more and more places in society nowadays. The work done by the church and other groups is great. However, the marginalization of women is widely perceived, more than in other non-indigenous towns. Another serious problem is that mestizos still do not accept the indigenous people. They still look down on them.